Hello and welcome to this channel where I talk about marriage, relationships and parenting. If that's something that you're interested in, like and subscribe. Today I want to talk about a draining spouse. Did you know that you can actually drain your spouse? If you haven't thought about it, I think this is the video for you. Before you get into denial, let's look at the word draining. What does draining mean? Just like draining is more like sucking out the energy out of someone. As a result of drainage or draining in a relationship, you find that the person is exhausted, the person is tired, the person is fed up. What are some of those things that we do? Complaining, nagging. Just there's certain actions that you keep doing to your spouse, and every time you're like, you even lack words. You don't even know how to say it, because maybe they're not doing this, you're not in agreement, some of those actions that you do that just leave your spouse so exhausted. And draining can be physical, it can be emotional at the same time. Just imagine. Well, let's look at some of the ways or the things that people do in relationships, in marriages, that cause that draining effect. One of them is complaining and nagging. Just imagine you have this person, they're always complaining about the boss, they're complaining about the workmate, they're complaining about the food at work, they're complaining about the workload they gave them, they're complaining and let's just leave the complaints about work. When they get home, hey, why is the carpet not in the right place? Why are the cushions not in the right place? What happened to the food? I thought you were going to cook chicken. Don't you people have brains? Like, you find when he walks in or she walks in, right from the door, why is the door like this? You didn't clean the door, the windows are dusty, the children, how come they've not bathed? Like, it's just complaint upon complaint upon complaint upon complaint. When you get into the bedroom, your husband is trying to just have a conversation with you, and all you do is complain. You complain about the weather, you complain about the government, you complain about his character, you complain. You have not even said hello. How was he supposed to say hello when you walked in with complaints that the house help is also, you put her in her place, you put the children in their place, you put him in his place. Everyone is on tension. That kind of complaining is actually nagging. It drains. Every time you're around, everyone feels they're so exhausted. And when you start complaining, back at the back of their minds, they're like, oh God, I wish she could just stop. I wish he could just stop. Just take a minute and reflect on that and say, you know what, I am not doing this anymore. This is 2024. Some other way someone can be draining to a spouse is when they're not collaborative. This can drain you physically and emotionally at the same time. As a couple, you have children, and maybe your wife is busy and she's asking you to run a few errands with the children, or just keep the baby for 3 or 4 hours as they finish ABCD that is really critical for them, and all you say is, I'm busy. Do you know what you're busy doing? Sleeping, texting, hanging out with friends, just chatting about what? Soccer, the weather, back in the day conversations. Yes, they're very, very important, but at this very moment, your spouse needs you. They need a hand. Maybe today was really exhausting. Could you help us make the food? And you know that you can actually do that, but because you are thinking about yourself, which actually means being selfish, you will come up with an excuse that sounds like legit, and yet in actual sense you're just trying to escape from that. That is not being collaborative. You can even decide, agree that, this month we are going to put our finances together, maybe 50% we put together, and we're going to work towards this. And yes, you have accumulated a certain amount of money, and guess what? He decides or she decides to take part of it to invest into something, And when the other party finds out, oh my god, they are shocked and they're like, yeah, I used it. And you're not even remorseful. You agreed to save this much. You have both been putting in a lot of effort, and you have gone behind your wife's back, or you have gone behind your husband's back and actually used that money, and you have not even given a bit of accountability. You didn't even ask them. You didn't even let them know. That is draining. Trust me, that person is going to sleep and just look at you like, okay, I don't know who this is. I can't recognize this person. They will feel so betrayed. They will feel extremely hurt. They'll go on an emotional journey of, they'll be battling with so much pain because of what you've done, which is draining emotionally and physically. I mean, you have set a goal, and you know this money is going to help us finish building the house, and you maybe misuse that money. At the end of the day, all these efforts of trying to come up with different income streams just to pull money to achieve that target drains this person physically. Just imagine you are running up and down, giving extra hours, getting extra clients, not giving your children enough time just because you want to achieve a certain target. But this other person is just laid back and waiting to just do a selfish stunt. That is extremely draining. Some other way you can be draining is always being negative. There are people in a home, even when before the wife starts speaking, no, it can't work. Can we do this? No, it won't work. Or he suggests, no, that one. You're always negative. You're negative about the environment. You're negative about the people that come around. You're negative about in-laws. You're negative. I mean, everything is negative. Now, what conversation are you going to have in your house? You turn on the TV, you're complaining about the president. We switch to Al Jazeera and you're still complaining about what's happening in this country or this war. Then we go to soccer, you're complaining, why didn't he kick, why did he take that chance? Soccer is done. Okay, we go to church. Hey, can you imagine, why did they say this, why did they use that example? You're not seeing anything positive. Your child comes back from school and maybe the teacher said you did well today, and he or she is excited, and you're like, okay, why did they say you're excellent? You're always negative. Really, you're just negative. Now that kind of energy drains everyone around you. You actually drain, you become a stress factor in your marriage. So every time your partner is planning on coming back home, they're like, oh my god, we're going for another session of papa complain, and they can't wait until you keep quiet and sleep off. That's when they feel like, ah, now I have some peace. Lastly, when you are not supportive, your spouse is planning on upgrading, maybe they're getting a master's degree, and you leave the whole bill to them. You're not supportive financially, you're not supportive physically, you're not supportive emotionally, you're just there, like that's your thing. And yet when they get that other document, extra paper, they'll probably earn more, and it's going to benefit the rest of you, but you're not even helping. You're not even helping to buy data, to drop them off for classes. You're not supporting their business. Maybe they've started baking. You're not even giving any feedback. You're just as if nothing is happening. You're there in the house, but as if it's none of your business. That is draining, because at the end of the day, he or she is going to be doing this and thinking, does this person really care about me? We are in a marriage to do life together, to support each other. But if you stand aloof, you stand like a spectator when your wife or your husband is getting into a project, and you're not even saying thank you, well done, how was it, how far, even if you don't understand, maybe it's engineering or it's something to do with medicine and you're a teacher. Yes, I know the technical things you may not understand, but at least you understand how far have you gone. That such basic things of how was your day. Are you making any progress? Like, the word progress is not anything to do with medicine, so I think you can ask, just ask general questions to show this person, or just can I give you a cup of tea, or can I help you, is there something I can do? You know, there's so many ways to be supportive. Let me escort you, I mean, you can support them without being technical. Well, I can't wait for the next video, because we are going to look at how you can actually be the anti-draining spouse. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video.